Our next guest planning a trip to Venezuela this year with leaders from hedge funds, asset managers, perhaps seeking out some opportunities for their money. Charles Myers joins us now. He's Signum Global Advisors chairman and founder, formerly vice chairman at Evercore ISI. What are you thinking here, Charles? I mean, in terms of what you'll actually see on the ground, and again, this is all anecdotal here, is that it's way too early to really think about how you could ever deploy capital in this country.
Absolutely. First, thanks for having me on. It's been a little over 48 hours since Maduro was removed, so it's obviously very early days. Some of the easy money's already been made, which has been mentioned on your show, which is some of the defaulted sovereign bonds have doubled in the last 3 months. But the truth is, this is a major infrastructure play. I think it could be as big as $500 billion over the next 10 years, and I think that and that's the reason we're going down there in March with investors, multinationals, and asset managers. But I think the more interesting analogy, people are trying to compare Venezuela to Iraq. The more relevant analogy, we think, is actually either Eastern Germany in the 90s or Hungary, Poland, as those economies transition from being capitalist to from communist to capitalist. And the bigger, and in a way, what's even more interesting about Venezuela is, unlike the Eastern Bloc back then, Venezuela is sitting, as you know, on the biggest oil reserves in the world. And secondly, the United States today is 10,000% invested in the future success of Venezuela. I think people are being far too pessimistic. This is a massive opportunity across multiple sectors, not only oil and gas. That's why we're going down to meet with the new government, or existing and new government, in about 2 months.
Yeah, I mean, listen, nobody doubts the opportunity there, certainly even when it just comes to oil, given the magnitude of the so-called geology in terms of what it shows. But again, what they do wonder about is the security guarantees that would be needed for the likes of an ExxonMobil to say, okay, we're going to go back in, or a Chevron to increase its commitment, and or name your multinational oil company. That doesn't seem to be there at all at this point. And so I wonder, how are a bunch of hedge funds going to benefit if ExxonMobil, for example, is not willing to go in there yet?
Yeah, look, I think a couple things. First, there will be security guarantees. We already have a pretty important one, or meaningful one already, which is the scale of the United States military presence offshore. Offshore Venezuela, and ready to deploy if necessary. So I'd say that's the beginning of a security guarantee. Obviously, a lot more work needs to be done domestically. I also think for most foreign investors, most multinationals, or even ultimately when Venezuela comes back to the debt capital markets and or the Caracas Stock Exchange reactivates and sanctions are lifted, I think there will be a U.S. government backstop for private capital, U.S. capital going into Venezuela. We don't know what that looks like yet, but again, I wouldn't rule out some kind of U.S. government backstop to help provide the security and some of the incentives for U.S. companies to go in and invest in Venezuela.